Are you looking for answers to the unknown? Welcome to Live with Medium Lisa Phoenix and step into the magical presence of the metaphysical realm. Lisa will share the wisdom and musings from her own experiences, have intriguing conversations with other mediums and healers, in addition to exploring a wide array of topics and teachings on intuitive and mediumship development. Lisa will be taking your calls and inviting your friends and loved ones in the spirit world to share their stories with us. Raise your awareness as you are reunited on the level of love, and let's go live with Medium Lisa Phoenix.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's another vibrant and sunny day in Southern California. Welcome to the Live with Lisa Phoenix radio show. I'm Lisa Phoenix, your host, a medium and energy intuitive. My show is all about healing, mediumship, and energy management. And my special guest this morning is Sharon Harvey, spiritual medium and tutor at the Arthur Findlay College of Mediumship in Stansted, England. We're going to talk about healing, attunement, and perception today. And since the station is currently working on the call-in feature for the show, for now, if you want to share some of your own challenges or ask questions, please go to my Facebook page, Lisa Phoenix Live, and post your questions, and we will do our best to address them while we're on the air. If you want further information about the Live with Lisa Phoenix radio show, please visit my page on the OMTimes radio site at OMTimes, OMTIMES.com/IOM/hosts, HOSTS/Lisa-Phoenix, PHOENIX. My website is getting an overhaul at the moment, and we'll have the new show info up soon. And now let's talk a bit about Sharon. Spiritual medium Sharon Harvey, as I mentioned earlier, is a tutor at the Arthur Findlay College of Mediumship in England, where she is known for her lively, humorous approach, as well as her capacity to inspire everyone she comes in contact with. As a child, Sharon was always drawn to God and would skip school to sit in churches and graveyards where she felt close to him. As a teenager, she saw spirit, but didn't understand it, and it frightened her. She was raised in somewhat of a traveling family. Now, Sharon, does this mean they were like gypsies or...
Yes. Good morning to you, Lisa. Yes, that's what traveling means, gypsy family.
Okay. Now, I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but the movie I know most of you are familiar with, Gypsy Rose Lee, is one of my all-time favorites. And, well, you know, it's all about inspiration, isn't it now, Sharon?
Definitely. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Now, Sharon is both a physical and a mental medium, and she teaches both of those in addition to trance and trance healing. Please visit Sharon's website at www.sharonharveymedium.co.uk, and that's SharonHarvey medium.co.uk, where you can get a better picture of what this amazing woman is all about, and also contact her as well for more information. And then you can also visit her Facebook page, which is Medium Sharon Harvey. Correct, Sharon?
Yes, that's correct. That's right.
Perfect. Sharon, I'm so happy to have you with us. It's actually,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's actually nighttime where you are in England, correct?
Yes, it is. And we haven't got any sun shining, Lisa.
Yeah, we're kind of at opposites, you know, that whole yin-yang thing.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing, that I am continuing to develop the physical mediumship.
Sure.
And obviously continuing to develop my trance mediumship. But there's really good stuff happening at the minute, so I'm very happy with it all. But I'm not saying that I'm all singing, all dancing and, you know, producing materializations yet, you know. So, but
yeah.
We're working on it. We're working on it, Lisa.
Yeah, it's a journey, you know.
I've been on this journey for 20 years, and as long as there's breath in my body, I shall continue to do it.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing. I mean, you know, a lot of people in mediumship, they come into like some gifts right away, and then it's like, wow, here we are. But it actually, to really fully develop, it's an ongoing process, isn't it? That just takes years and years.
Yes. I mean, I've been doing my, if you like, for want of a better word, mental, perception mediumship for 30 years. So, but it is, an ongoing process, and you just got to be patient and, just work at it. And really, Lisa, it depends how hungry you are. You need to be hungry for this. And if you think mediumship is an easy, wonderful, nice, smooth journey, then you better think again, because it's not.
Yes, I've found in my own experience, if you really want to embark on this journey, it's not just about doing the mediumship. It's about your own inner workings and healing. And that's not always an easy journey either, is it?
No, definitely not. I mean, really, the first thing that we should all be concentrating on is that spirit within, learning to be in touch with that spirit within. And unfortunately, most of us, and that includes me, when we first come into this, that's not really what we're looking for.
Right.
Because if I'm honest with you, and maybe I've said this before, I just wanted to make the contact, wanted to be on the rostrum, do the messages, and nothing else seemed to matter.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, my daughter was so good and was learning about her spirit within, and unfortunately, her mother was just looking to make the contact with the spirit world, and that was it. But really, it was such the wrong way round, because the spirit we should be concentrating on is that spirit within, and listen to the expression of our spirit, of our soul. That's what we need to be doing.
Right. And the good thing is, though, Sharon, is that, no matter what your motivation when you step into this, spirit will come back around and work with you and show you, how to move forward and how to adjust, different attitudes and stuff like that.
Definitely. And also, if I can just mention, it's not that I want to go on about my daughter, but she is one person that I'm going to mention there, is she had a year out of her mediumship. Right. And she said, I'm not going to do this, too much, because life got in the way. And I'm sure this happens to many of us. Life gets in the way sometimes and stops us from being able to attend circles, to develop our mediumship, illnesses, etc., work, It gets in the way. But I promise you that the minute the time is right, it comes back. It goes full circle, comes back, and then there you are again. You can pick it up. And it's like riding a bike, Lisa. If you think about it, when you was a child and rode a bike, maybe you haven't rode one for 15 years, 20 years. You get back on that bike, you're a little bit wobbly, but you soon pick it up and learn how to do it again. Yes,
it is. And so it's the same with mediumship, right?
That's it. That's what I'm saying. It's exactly the same with that. So if something happens in your life, you have time out, whatever, then, you can get back on that. I promise. It's really is true.
Yeah. And just believing in, the power of spirit, usually when that happens, it's supposed to happen, I have found myself during my journey, being led off course, which I think is actually off course, but it's not in the long run, because I needed something else in my life to work on its healing or something, before I came back around. And sometimes we think that we're going off course when actuality we're not. Don't you think?
No, that's right. Yeah. You're really being guided, by your spirit, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes discarnate spirit try to guide you, obviously, because that's what they're there for, the guides, to take you, on a journey of discovery, really, and for you to find all that you are and what you're about.
Right. And I just, for me, just so you know, I actually use the word spirit interchangeably to, whether you're talking about that universal energy, that God energy.
Yeah, that's fine. You see, for me, I love the word God. That really does something for me. It's like music to my soul. And I promise you that I could just say God all day long, because I love that word.
Well, no, I think that's awesome. And it's kind of like for me, I had different things growing up in the church. So I kind of substituted out that word just for my own emotional, do you know what I mean? Healing itself. So I could kind of get to know God in a new way. And
that's really fabulous, and that's great because, like you say, there's, different people have different things, in their life that affects them. So it really is right for them not to use the word God, and I understand that, because it can just bring up some really bad memories sometimes for people. But also, on the other hand, I have my freedom of right to say the word God.
Of course. No, it's awesome. Yeah. It's just, I just feel as though we should all have that right to be able to kind of refer to him, her as however that we want to,
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Call it universal energy. Call it what you like, because it doesn't mind.
Right. Now, Sharon, we've got a commercial coming up, and when we get back, we're going to dive into talking about healing, attunement, and perception. Okay?
Okay, darling.
So everybody stay with us, and we'll be back in a moment. You're on OMTimes Radio. Stay tuned.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Join Elliot Jollish, the business therapist, each Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Elliot Jollish Hour, as he interviews business experts on your behalf. And you're invited to email your business questions to questions@ecjgroup.com for answers, live, on air every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Elliot Jollish Hour. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Know what to do, just can't figure out how to fit it all into your busy life? It doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Ellen Vaisberg from Seamless Life. Join me every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio and learn the how of conscious living. Let me and my guests help make your life seamless.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and spiritual medium Sharon Harvey. Sharon, we alluded to this a little bit earlier, but I'd love it. We are going to be talking about healing, attunement, and perception. and
Yes.
how important that is in the developmentship of mediumship. So I'd love it if you would just kind of jump in and.
Yes. Well, of course, I'd love it too, because it's a real passion of mine. And, like, as you've already said, I'm a tutor at the Arthur Findlay College.
Yes.
And we hold healing in such a high regard there. And we have such a great healing team. In fact, we love it so much. I'm going to have to tell you that we have FOSH, which is Friends of Stansted Hall.
Mm-hmm.
They have a healing team at the Arthur Findlay College. We also have the Stansted Hall Healers, who go there every Tuesday to the Arthur Findlay College and give healing all day long.
Wow.
And we also have the Pioneer Healers, which I'm very proud to say I am a part of that.
Yay.
And yay, and that's and we have that every Saturday at the Arthur Findlay College. And also these healers come on, some of us, when we have our weeks there and we do the services, we have the healers come on our services and give healing, which is just so fabulous. And you would think that most people just want to listen to the messages. But really, this is true, Lisa.
Yes.
We can have, like 10 healers healing, and every time the chair is empty, so another load come up. And in the end, we was having to say, we'll make our messages shorter so that we can continue with the healing, because so many people wanted it and they just love it.
Right.
And it is so important to give the healing, hands-on healing is great, marvelous, and that's what we're doing. And that's so important. But all mediumship is a healing process, all of it.
Yeah.
So not just the hands-on healing.
Now, Sharon, can anybody do hands-on healing? Like if you're on that journey and...
Yes, anybody can do this, do the hands. I just want to sort of mention about a few things, like about the healing, because you've just said that, so I just want to say, because I can remember the late, great Gordon Higginson.
Yes.
I'm sure you have heard of him. He was, principal of the Arthur Findlay College for 14 years.
Yes.
And he, he was president of the Spiritualist National Union for 23 years. And, I'm honoured to say that I did know him. I'm not saying he's my best friend or, he taught me for years, because he didn't. I just, a few years was lucky enough to be in the presence of his teachings and his talks.
Right.
But such a most amazing man, and the energy of this man, the spirituality of him was outstanding. And but I was just thinking about some of the stories that he would tell, because he also was a fabulous healer too.
Really?
As well as, all dancing, all singing, of everything, God love him, physical,
yes.
everything. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but he would sit and tell the stories of the healing, and you could hear a pin drop, an absolute pin drop. And I can remember of him talking about Harry Edwards.
Okay. You might have to tell, I know who that is, but you might have to tell our listeners who that is.
Okay. So Harry Edwards is, or was a very famous healer over here in the UK, an amazing man. And he would send out healing thoughts as well as doing healings. And we're talking hundreds and hundreds, all week long, of people coming for healing, and he would be able to do it. But this is an amazing story about him.
Yes.
About this man who used to fill the Albert Hall with people who used to come just for healing. And
wow.
I don't know if you've heard of the Albert Hall in England, London, but it's a huge place. anyway, and one of the stories that Gordon Higginson, I can remember, us telling me was that people would have like a curvature of the spine. I don't know if you know.
Yes.
So most people would understand that. And he could give healing to these people and they could walk away with a straight spine. Now, that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah.
Well, anyway, there was a skeptical one time. This is, a story that Gordon was talking about. And there was a skeptical and shouted out, is the healing really work? And he said, if there's a skeptical here, Harry Edwards this is, he said,
right.
Please, can you come down? And so he came down and there was another person with a curvature of the spine. So he got the skeptical to feel the curvature in the spine. And, he verified, yes, that's correct. There is a curvature of the spine here. So he held this skeptical's hand and placed them on the patient. And they did healing, he did the healing through the skeptical person's hand, okay? The healing with his. And after a while of this healing, the spine was straight again. And so this skeptical person was blown away by it. Blown away. And then, hence his journey began learning about the healing.
You mean the skeptic's journey, right?
Yes, the skeptic journey, yeah. Because he was so amazed and couldn't believe it. And obviously he couldn't be skeptical anymore.
Right.
So, yeah. And, I can think of loads and loads of healers, that I could go on about. But I know that this is about attunement too. But I just feel such a need to say to you. And there was one called Ted Fricker, and I love this man. Okay. Ted Fricker. And he used to, heal really quickly. And most people had 3 minutes. And if they was very, very sick, he would give them 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and his name was Ted Fricker. And he would see like 1,500 people on a Saturday and a Sunday. I mean, that's a lot of people to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they used to say, if you want it quicker, go to Fricker.
And, I wanted to ask you, too, because I don't know. I might have my information all wrong or whatever. But what I also remember hearing is I wanted to bring up the healing thoughts that would be sent out. Didn't one of those men or both of them get they used to get a ton of letters just from sending out the thoughts of people that would be healed or something?
Yeah, yes. Hundreds and thousands of requests. And, that's why we have the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary, Centre now. Because they still get requests. Obviously, Harry Edwards isn't with us.
Right.
But, that he still gets, they still get requests because that's how it was. It was sent through the post. I mean, people from all over the world, and the healing was sent out. The same as us. We have our healing books in the Arthur Findlay College, and we write in there people's names, etc., and prayers and healing thoughts are sent out for those people. Yeah, so you're right in saying that, Lisa.
Yeah, and then they also, I'm trying to say to people that it doesn't have to be hands-on necessarily, because didn't he used to just get letters of people who they would just be from thoughts? It was crazy, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Names are there, the thoughts are there, and you send. It's called absent healing.
Right. Yeah.
You can get distant healing where someone can be in the room, but you don't have to touch them, and and you send healing. As I say, you don't have to have hands on, so that's distant healing. Yeah. And then absent healing is like we could, you write a letter or send me an email of someone's name, and we send the healing, even though they're not there across the world. It's amazing, isn't it?
I think it is amazing. And, I think just over here in the U.S., people are very skeptical about the distant healing. So that's why I just wanted you to share, because, it's one, people kind of hear like, well, it's kind of like, well, if I see it, I'll believe it.
Yeah. And I want to say this to you, because the person who needs to be healed, or, who is unwell, whatever the case, the patient,
right,
they have to want this healing, and they have to play their part in it, because it's like you can't give healing to someone, who doesn't want to be healed, because it's about their spirit. Because when you send the healing goes to the spirit within and to their soul, and that's where the healing starts, you see, because that's where the problem is, really.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So they have to want it, and they have to be open to receiving it, actually. Right?
That's it. Be receptive to it. But also, on the other hand, I want to say that there is people, like you've said, they've requested absent healing for their husband, wife, daughter, whatever the case may be. And the absent healing has been sent because they don't want to come and have healing. They don't believe in it. And yet there's been an improvement,
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. There's two sides of the coin of it, I think. But obviously, if the spirit is willing to accept it, that's the health improvement will be far better.
Right. Now we're going to take another break right here, and then we'll come back and talk about some attunement. And keep listening. You're on OMTimes Radio with Medium Sharon Harvey. We'll be right back.
Feed your soul with waves of consciousness on OMTimes Radio.
Hi, my name is Monica, and I'm the host of Co-Creating Now. Give yourself an opportunity to connect with your all-knowing higher self and manifest joy, love, and peace together every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. Simone Milasas would like you to know that business can be fun, which is why she wrote the book, Joy of Business. What if you could have the joy of business rather than the stress and struggle? Most of the time, the only thing stopping you from a thriving business is you. In the Joy of Business book, Simone gives you access consciousness tools and pragmatic ways to get out of your own way and to create the business, life, and living you know is possible and beyond what this reality says is achievable. Business is joy. It's creation. It's generative. It can be the adventure of living. You can purchase your copy of the book through Amazon or Joy of Business website, www.accessjoyofbusiness.com.
Hello, I'm Miriam Knight of New Consciousness Review, inviting you to my new show where I interview the rising stars of the conscious awakening. We'll explore the many faces of consciousness in action and intriguing perspectives on life, the universe, and everything in between. Join us each Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Stars Show.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here with spiritual medium Sharon Harvey. Sharon, gosh, that was so awesome to share about all that healing, because you guys have so much more experience with that over in the UK than we do here in America, you know, with to have all that like history and experiences.
Yeah.
And I just think it's wonderful for people to hear about. Yes,
I think it's amazing. Well, so what I needed, I really wanted to speak about was, how the attunement of the healing can help us with our perception mediumship, our demonstrating mediumship, our one-to-ones.
Yes.
So I want to talk about healing attunement first. Okay, so the attunement I'm going to talk about now is the healing attunement. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So we need to train ourselves to attune to the spirit so that we become more useful instruments of the spirit healing operators.
Right.
So that's what we need to do. Now, the healing power comes through us, but it's not our healing. It's not of us, okay? It's from the spiritual forces and energies, from the spirit world. So that's where it comes from, all right?
Yes.
But the healing has an intelligence behind it, okay? So it's not a nothingness. There's an intelligence that brings this healing. And that's what's really important, okay? That we remember that.
Yes.
Now, I know a lot of people are not really interested sometimes in the healing side of mediumship. Holding my hands up, I was one of them, because they go, oh, no, not healing, it's boring. But it's the most important thing that we could ever do with our mediumship. And unfortunately, it took me a long time to realise that. But anyway, so we're talking about the attunement, okay?
Yes.
And so what we need to do is we need to just be as pure a channel as possible that we can be, the most purest, okay?
Yes.
Because that's what we need to do. So we're not looking at, wanting to get a contact or anything like that. We're just looking at being pure. And, that's the most important thing. And I hear people say, I want to be of service to the spirit world. Well, this healing is being of service. And just get yourself into a nice place. Now, the thing is, I know this sounds really funny, but you are not actually going to do anything too active, because this is a passive thing.
Right.
And all you need to do is to lift up, like your thoughts, okay, lift up to the spirit. As you do, you send that thought up and you say to them, I'm here, I want to be a channel.
Okay.
For this healing power, so the power, so it goes from spirit, the discarnate spirit.
Yes.
From spirit, through spirit to us, and to spirit again, like being your patient.
Right.
So from spirit, through spirit to spirit. That's how it works. Now, you don't, unlike when we want to make a contact with the spirit world to give evidence, we're always searching. We've got, our minds thinking about things. That's not how it is. You just need to reach up, lift and say to the spirit world, I'm here, I want to be a channel. And try and be as quiet and passive as possible. And you don't actually have to do nothing. You don't have to send that thought, oh, this energy's coming out of my hands or, anything like that. It's just being, just being. That's all it is just being. And I can't tell you how amazing it is when you can see that healing power of the spirit bringing relief, from people who are in pain and comfort, because it doesn't necessarily, people don't come for healing just because they've got a broken leg or, a bad head.
Right.
People come, who need help,
yes.
when they've got troubles and things in their life, a troubled time.
Yes.
So that's what we do. But the first thing you do, so when you first start to do healing, the first thing you do is attune to the patient. So on a psychic level, because you yourself need to be in tune with your patient.
Okay.
So that would be the first thing that you would do, is attune to them. And then once you have done that, then you reach up. You know, it's a thought in your head. Lift yourself up and say to the spirit world, I'm here. You know, I'd like to be the channel. And
yes, go ahead.
Yeah. And so the forces and the energies, you know, that are doing the healing will flow through you.
Okay, now I understand how to attune to somebody psychically, but just in case there's people out there that do not, what do they do? Do they just...
Right, so...
Are you there? Uh-oh. So, folks, we've had a little bit of technical difficulty. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, we had a bit of technical difficulty there, so I'm glad we got you back.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so for those people who attune psychically, you know, for those of
Right.
you who know how to do that, you do the same thing. You attune to the spirit, you know, so you lift up rather than, you know, something to do with this world. So you reach up and try and attune to the spirit world the same way. But it's just a thought. You send that thought out to them. I would like to be a healing channel. And, you know, and then you place your hands on the patient. Now, like everything, Lisa, you know, it takes practice.
Right.
That's what we have to do. You have to practice at this and continue, you know, to practice. And some people are just natural healers. You will hear people say, I went to the hospital and visited my sick auntie and I just fell asleep. And that's because we're so giving. When you're a natural healer, you're giving of yourself. So that's why you're tired, because you're giving magnetic energy from yourself. You know, you're not thinking, okay, let's go and give them hands-on healing. But magnetically, because you're a natural healer, a kind person, that's what you would be doing. And sometimes maybe people's hands feel burning when they're with someone who's sick, which is another sign to say that they're a healer.
Gotcha.
And want to do that. So, you know, so anyway, So that's how it goes. So what I want to say about is you need to, practice at doing this healing, and you don't have to do anything. Okay, just be, like I said to you, just be the pure channel, Lisa.
Okay, now let me ask you one question. In a roundabout way, doesn't that actually also help with your perception mediumship, because it actually helps train you kind of stay out of the way and let
That's right, because this constant connection, okay, of going to the spirit, doing the healing. So I want to stay with this healing just for a bit, and then I'll come back to that. Okay, so this constant connection with doing the healing, it helps you attune to the spirit. But you're not using your mind to think about the contact like you do when you give in a contact, like and say, I've got your uncle here, and this is how we pass to the spirit, etc. You're not doing that. You're just being a pure channel. So you don't have to think. But like you have just said, the constant attunement with the healing will help you when it comes to doing your, for want of a better word, your mental mediumship.
Okay. Yes.
Because you are so used to attuning yourself, to the spirit, that it just enhances that connection. It just makes it so much stronger and so much better. So that when it comes to doing your mental mediumship, it's easier to make that connection. Although the attunement, when you're doing that, is different, because healing is very passive. So that's why we stay in this, in the passive state for the healing.
Right.
And most healers become trance mediums, because to be a trance medium.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand. We're going to take another quick commercial break here, and then we'll be back. Sorry to cut you off in the middle of that thought.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be right back. You're listening to OMTimes Radio with Medium Sharon Harvey. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi, I'm Katrina Kavanagh, host of the I Am Wisdom radio show. I Am Wisdom is about the connection between mind work and energy work, spirituality, and living a wonderful life. Looking forward to sharing each Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with you.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Radio Namaste leads you down the yellow brick road into portals of consciousness with the blue collar goddess as your host. Interviews with humans who could be famous or just popular, and answers to everything are on the agenda. Tune into OMTimes Radio and drop in on Thursdays at 3 Eastern. It's a different brand of enlightenment.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here with spiritualist medium Sharon Harvey on Live with Lisa Phoenix. And Sharon, you were talking about how a lot of healers get into trance mediumship.
Yes, that's correct. Because to do trance mediumship, you have to be very passive. And to do healing, this is also a very passive thing. So the attunement is different, is what I was going to say to you, to what you do with, when you're demonstrating or one-to-ones. So like we're saying, the constant connection with the healing, helps to attune with the spirit.
Yes.
But with the healing, you are not using your mind to think about the contact. Like, as you know, Lisa, you do it. When we're doing, one-to-ones or, our perception, right. We are constantly going, okay, come on, tell me, how did you pass? Like you're using your mind. With the healing, you're not doing that. So,
gotcha.
But just become the pure channel. But it does help to train for you to stay out of the way. Yes. So that when it comes for you to do, your mental mediumship, it helps you to stay out of the way and helps that connection. Although it's a much faster, quicker thing because it's party time when we're doing demonstrations, isn't it? It's
yes.
Upbeat, party time, lively, boom, boom, boom. So the attunement is, the same, connecting to the spirit, but just on a different, a much quicker vibration. You're working much quicker. So, but that's why the healing can really help you with your one-to-ones or your platform mediumship because of the attunement to the spirit. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is all about. Whether you are attuning to your spirit within, whether you are attuning to the spirit healers,
right?
Or whether you're attuning to people's families, in the spirit world and friends. It's all about the attunement. That's really what it is. I wonder if I could just read this little, it's just a tiny little.
Of course. We'd love to hear it.
And it's called The Healer. And a fellow tutor of the Arthur Findlay College, Leah Bond, gave this to me. And it's by someone called Claire Corner.
Okay.
So it's called The Healer. He stood there, proud to be of service. The love in his heart was reflected in his hands through the purity of his soul. His eyes dimmed with the brightness of healing as it emerged 1,000-fold in sparks of energy, penetrating mortality in its search for the soul cause. Here was the revelation. He was in tune with the infinite, completely, utterly, not with the ego of man, but with humility towards the powerhouse of light, as eager to help as the one who sought. The deed was done, the healer. I think that's so beautiful.
Wow, it's amazing. It's just amazing. I almost was getting caught up as you were reading it.
Yeah, it's so fabulous. So I just want to go back to some of the healers, because those of your listeners who might be thinking, I can't be a healer, blah, blah, blah. And like I'm saying, we need to be as pure a channel as possible. But I just want to remind you a few little things about the spirit, because at the end of the day, we are human beings, right. And we all do things that maybe are not, all so wonderful all the time, i.e. smoke, drink, blah, blah, blah. But I just want to take you back to Harry Edwards, who was a very heavy smoker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he always had a cigarette in his mouth. The only time he didn't was when he was doing the healing. And, I can think of Helen Duncan, the famous,
yes.
physical medium. She was also a very heavy smoker. And when her ectoplasm come out, they tell me, I've read that it was a very dirty color because she was a smoker.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I used to be a smoker, but I'm not trying to sort of, bring these wonderful people down. I'm just trying to say to the people who are listening on your station that, we're human beings And, you haven't got to be whiter than white and purer than purer. The only place you have to be pure is in your heart.
Right.
And want to be of service to help those in need, and to want to be of service to the spirit world, to help them to take that healing power or that healing message, whatever it is that you are doing, to the people to help them.
Yes.
So,
yes, because they work with our humanness, yeah.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Of course they do. And otherwise, I don't know what they'd... what they when they come to me, I'm sure, but I'm trying my best to be a lovely person. I'm sure we all are.
Right, right. And I've also seen people who lived one way and they've been transformed and now are doing, because wasn't Harry Edwards, wasn't his past a little bit turbulent?
Yes, that's right. No, that's right. And I bet you there are many, thousands and thousands of wonderful healers, mediums, that have had little turbulent lives too.
Right, right. And it's just a wonderful thing. But then again, it's also the power of spirit being able to help people transform. Do you know what I mean? And doing transformations in their lives. So,
Absolutely. Once you are touched by the spirit, there's no going back. There is no going back, because it's just so beautiful and amazing. And, one of the things I can think is, before I became a spiritualist or, medium, whatever, a tree was a tree, it's
right.
okay. A tree. Now I look at a tree and I think, oh my God, look at that beautiful tree.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it just changes the way you think. Also, it makes you think about the way you treat people, some of the things that you say, how you deal with situations in your life. It just changes the whole perception of, life and yourself and people. It changes it for the better, and it's so touching and, moving to feel that wonderful power, that wonderful divine spark that can come forward and show us the way, show us the truth, Lisa, show us the right way and the light,
right.
The knowledge they come through with is astounding, and it's touching. And, and it's amazing. Everything's amazing, because at the end of the day, we are that divine spark of, I will call it God. You can call it the universal energy. You and everyone else is a divine spark of that.
Right, right. And it's just, I agree with you. It's just so amazing and so magical, and yet it's so humbling at the same time to, and just kind of, I don't know, when I work with spirit, I'm always filled with such gratitude that they are willing to use me to do this work,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and if anybody has gone to see a trance medium, providing they're a good trance medium,
right,
then they will be touched by the spirit, because the power that comes, the love, the energy that comes from the spirit world when they speak in trance is incredible. I'm sure you have felt that, have you?
Yes, I have. And it's just, as you said right there too, it's such the amazing power of love that you feel,
Yeah, because they are all about love.
Right.
It is love. And so when they are in the presence, that's why most people feel very emotional when they're in a trance energy. Or if you're watching someone on the platform giving evidence, and, the essence of the spirit comes through. as you know, most people will be emotional, want to cry, etc., as that message is being given over, because you're feeling the essence of the spirit world and that love, that emotion. And, it's just so divine. It's so divine. And aren't we lucky, Lisa, that we know the truth, that life is eternal?
Definitely. And Sharon, I want to bring this up because we're kind of getting down to our last couple minutes. So what would you like to tell everybody or give some advice to everybody out there who may...
About healing, you mean? Or...
Yeah, healing, yes. People on pursuit of this work, you know.
Okay, what my advice would be, first of all, feel that wonderful energy, that wonderful divine light and spark of God, of the universal energy that you are. Be in touch with that first. Find that and know thyself, okay? You must know yourself, because you cannot be in touch with the spirit world if you can't be in touch with your spirit.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Sharon. That's wonderful advice.
Thank you, Lisa.
And I want to thank you so much for being on the show this morning. And thanks for helping all of us expand our awareness today. Again, visit Sharon's website at www.sharonharvey.medium.co.uk. And thank you again, all you listeners there, for hanging out with us this morning. Live with Lisa Phoenix is on every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Time. So please tune back with us next week. And again, Sharon, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. Have a lovely day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.